Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of The Pull List. This is the show where I talk with my hands a whole bunch and talk to you about the books that are coming out next week on my pull list. And then hopefully you leave me a comment telling you what I missed, what you like, or what is just absolutely crazy that I'm even considering. So if that sounds good to you, stick around and hear about what's coming out on November 4th, 2020. That is right. The pull list is back. It is Thursday, and we're looking ahead at next week, November 4th. This week, I got a bunch of Marvel books, so I'm going to start off there for you. Of course, I'm getting the Ten of Swords books. There's two this week. Apparently, a new X-Men issue 14, even though I feel like it was just 2 weeks ago I got X-Men. Issue 14 is dropping. Covers A and C, I think I got a couple of good covers that look like they would be really great. A lot of good Apocalypse artwork, so I'm always down for a good Apocalypse cover. It's just been a whole lot of fun, this Ten of Swords. I think we're going to start to get into the fights now, the one-on-one, who lives, who dies kind of stuff. I think this is going to be some serious landscape-changing stuff for the Mutant Universe, and I'm looking forward to it. Also, the other one is Marauders, issue 14. Didn't love issue 13 a whole bunch. It was a rare kind of misstep for Marauders, in my opinion. So I'm looking forward to getting back into the Marauders universe. I think cover A is my straight-up pick, but there's always a couple of good variants. I didn't see any that I thought were just mind-blowingly cool. There was one that was like a Emma Frost and Storm cover, which usually that would do well by me, but I just didn't care for the art. It was a pretty big hard pass on that one for me, so I'm going to skip out and stick with probably just cover A. Thor 9 comes out. It is not on my pull list. I have not felt ready to dive into a different Thor universe. I kind of loved the Jason Aaron one, and I'm not ready for Cates' version. But for those of you Thor 9 fans, there's something to look forward to. There's a book that I probably will pick up called Web of Venom and Empire's End. And I've loved the Web of Venom series. I think there are lots of little fun one-shots that fill out the Cates universe of Venom. This one is seeming to bridge Empire and the King in Black. So I'm kind of looking forward to see how that all plays out. It looks like Null is going to be a part of the issue. He's on a lot of the covers that I'm seeing. So I will probably be grabbing that one for sure. One of the ones with Null. And then there is a Wolverine one-shot. No, sorry, not a one-shot. Anthology series starting up. It's called Wolverine Black, White, and Blood. And it's all done in black and white, except for they use red. They use red pretty artistically all the way throughout, apparently. It's an anthology series because they do basically 3 stories in each issue. And it's done by 3 different writers and 3 different artists. And the stories are little one-shots. This is not part of the Ten of Swords. This is a separate universe kind of storyline. Some of the stories might take place in the past or in the present. You'll get a little bit of everything. And if you're a Wolverine fan, and I like my Wolverine, it might be something worth checking out. So there's a ton of writers and artists involved and a ton of covers because this is the first issue. But this is supposed to be something of an ongoing anthology series, so you might see some more of those in the future. And that wraps it up for me for Marvel. Now let's check out what I got at DC, because I think it's just one. Yeah, there's just one book at DC this week that I'm looking at getting. So I'm looking at Deceased Dead Planet issue 5. They have a ton of covers as usual, but I'll probably go with the movie variant cover, which I think is kind of cool. It's a Ben Oliver cover, too, and I really do like Ben Oliver. He did a really great Catwoman cover from that run with Art Germ, and I was like, dude, this guy's outstanding. So I'll probably snag that one. Dead Planet is a real... I go hot and cold. Issue 3 was amazing. Issue 4 was like, I don't know about issue 4. I'm hoping issue 5 puts us back to rights again. It is definitely better than the original series, in my opinion. I've not read Unkillables yet, and I heard good things about that. So that's the only Deceased story that I've missed. I'm still hate reading it. I haven't fully fallen in love with it, but I will say this new story arc is better. I just want characters to not be idiots. So hopefully they can avoid the moronic kind of decisions. And that's it for me at DC. So it's time to move on to some indies because I got a bunch of good stuff to show you. There are a ton of number ones this week, some stuff that you could jump in on and try out. Specifically, over at Image, there's a book called Crossover, Issue 1. This is by the guys who brought you God Country. So Donny Cates and the same artist are coming together to give you a new storyline called Crossover. There's a ton of cool covers for this. There's even a God Country homage cover. Sorry, I'm pointing this way, but it's over that way. A God Country homage cover. There's going to be a lot of cool things around this. I don't know a whole lot about the story, but for me, I didn't even care. If it's the God Country team and they've got a new book, I'm going to read it. So I'm going to grab issue 1. That is a definite green light for me. Over at IDW, they have a couple of books that might be worth checking out. There's a book called Scarenthood, like Parenthood and Scare together. And it seems to be a sort of horror comedy, maybe centered around parents of preschoolers who get involved in a sort of horror mystery. This is written by, Nick Roach, who did Spider-Man Renew Your Vows. So some people liked that Spider-Man story. The artist is Chris O'Halloran, who did Ice Cream Man. So I know a lot of you Ice Cream Man fans might be interested. And this is from IDW. It's called Scarenthood, number 1. So just thought I'd mention it. I'll take a look at it. I didn't really get into any of that other stuff, so I don't know for sure if I'll end up grabbing it. IDW also has a new TMNT book called Jennika 2, issue 1. It's another one-shot in the Jennika solo stories. So if you enjoyed the previous Jennika book, then this might be another one for you to grab. I have not dived into any of the TMNT stuff except for Last Ronin, so I'm not sure if that one will make the list, but it's a yellow light book that might be something to grab. Over at Image, there was one other book I wanted to mention called That Texas Blood. Some of you have been really into it. I know Alec has been into it, and issue 5 drops. So if you're still getting That Texas Blood, that might make your list. I kind of fell off of it after a couple of issues, so for me, it's going to have to take a lot for me to get back into this. I'm going to have to hear that it's just getting amazing again. So for me, I think it's a yellow light with a probable red light. But That Texas Blood fans, be ready to get that. I wanted to mention Vault has Money Shot issue 10, and I think that's a very funny book. I read the whole first arc. I think actually the first 2 arcs. So I'm pretty close to being caught up. It's very funny, very entertaining, and it's exactly what you'd expect from, Sexplorers in the universe. Very entertaining stuff. And then Boom Studios has a number 1. This is a definite pickup for me. I'm sticking with Boom Studios for any issue number 1s they drop. This new one is called Origins, and it centers around a post-apocalyptic future where AI has taken over, and they bring one man back. So now there's one human, and what is his purpose going to be? Well, you'll have to read to find out why the AI would bring a human back. So that sounds like a fun number 1 that could be a good jumping on point for a new science fiction, post-apocalyptic kind of future story. And that's it for me. I got 3 Marvels, 1 DC, 2 guaranteed indies, and a few little, maybe I'll check those out. So a grand total of 6 books for me, which is a lighter week. Let me know in the comments, as always, what you're getting or what I'm forgetting, because that's always really fun stuff to hear about. I've gotten some great advice from all of you, so I really want to thank you for all your comments. The comments are easily the best part of this series. Make sure you come back around next Thursday, because I'll have another pull list for you. And until then, keep enjoying your books.